Good morning, fellow option traders. This is Jeff, and this is a daily scan for Friday, January 4th, 2013. Yesterday was what is commonly referred to as an inside day. At least that's what the talking heads are calling it. Let's take a look at the chart for the ES quick here. An inside day is usually defined as a complete trading range within the day's previous bar, high and low. So the previous day is here, and this green candle here, this is Wednesday, and this is Thursday. This is already today because the futures are already trading. So this candle, the body of this candle, is completely within the body of the previous day's candle, and it is of the opposite color. So what that usually indicates in an uptrend, if the previous day is green and your inside day is red, that's a reversal indicator. Not 100% of the time, but many times. As you can see there, this over here is an inside day. It's in a short-term uptrend. We have an inside day, and then we have a pullback. There's actually scans in Thinkorswim that will indicate inside days on your chart, or will pull them up if they had, like the previous day was an inside day on a scan. Or there's a chart indicator, I believe, for it also. If you're interested in that, you may want to go to the Candlestick Forum. Just Google Candlestick Forum, and you can get all sorts of information about candlesticks. I am not an expert, but I have been paying attention to inside days. And it's a pretty popular indicator, and one of the strongest ones. You hear about other things like dojis. For instance, so far today we have a doji, and on my charts dojis are come up blue. So my price bubble over here is blue, and my candle, what there is of it, is blue. Looks like a little star. That is a doji. Alright, enough about candlesticks. Let's see here. Remember, I was talking about Apple and maybe bailing on that particular trade. I decided not to because of the price action that Apple had on the day that I was going to exit, which was, I believe, yesterday. So it gapped up, and then it pulled back, and it sort of recovered about halfway, and then I decided as it was pulling back that I was just going to stick it out. And here I am still in it, and it's actually pulling back a little bit more. Pre-market and post-market last night, it's not doing much either. So it's just kind of hanging in there. And in the last video, or a couple videos ago, I think it was down like maybe almost a couple $100 or so. I'm not sure exactly what it was, but it's definitely down more than the 65 that we're at right now. Let's take a look at the Profit 10 portfolio, and I got a couple things to talk about there. The Qs were up 301, but that also includes, let's go to the Analyze tab, that also includes the insurance policy here. So if I take this out, we're at 440. Our max potential is 531. So if we say that there's a rule that we get out when we're at 90% profit, 90% of 531, well, 10% is 53. So you take 53 and subtract that from 531, and you get about 480. So theoretically, we're $40 away from our max profit here, and when we get there, we will consider exiting, which probably will be the first part of next week if there's no serious moves today. let's take a look at the Russell trade. And what I did yesterday, just before the close, was sell a bear call here at 910 and 920. It's the first half of an iron condor, and if we get a pullback over the next week or so, then I will do the put side of it, and that is a February expiration. So I pulled in about $1.60 on that, and if we get something to pull back here, we'll see about where we pick up our put side of this trade. So let's take that off of here and take a look at where we are. We're down 344. We were down quite a bit more than that, but we stuck in there, and we'll take a look at a chart here. And the Russell, being a cash index, hasn't started trading yet for today. It's not a future. We could look at the futures. As a matter of fact, let's do that and see what's going on here. TF is the future /TF. Not doing much. As a matter of fact, during the night last night, or during the day yesterday, it had quite a drop. In overnight trading, not much going on there. So we're almost in a doji situation here too. You could call this an inside day, except the bar is green instead of red like it was on the S&P minis. Another thing that I wanted to show you, though, let's go back here to the monitor tab. What I did was I took a snapshot of the screen last night, just before. This was at 5:53, and you can see we were down 274 on the Russell, and this is just before the close and just before I did that bear call credit spread. We're down 274. Now let's jump back over here. We are down 366 because, as we all know, when you sell a credit spread, a lot of times you can go negative the first couple of days, and that is not a big deal to me. Looking at deltas, we are negative 26, which is hot deltas and giving us upside risk. And I added more upside risk by doing the bear call credit spread, because I'm limiting my upside even though it's at 910. So that increased my deltas. Theta's at 21. Here theta's at 16. Now you can see that theta, and we've talked about this before in the past too, that theta doesn't mean a whole heck of a lot if price is moving. So as the delta changes and the gamma changes, your actual theta is going to change. But in reality, instead of making $16 yesterday, we made $167.50. And remember, we talked about in the past the white line. Let's go to the Russell here. The white line. So as the white line moves, now watch when I'm going to move this price line here. Watch theta. So as I move the price line and get it more towards reducing my delta, you can see that theta is increasing. So when up to a certain point anyway. And then, but your actual, in reality, your profit and loss changes significantly, much more than the theta. So keep that in mind. Theta's a good thing to say that, oh yeah, you're positive theta, so that's really what you're looking for. But if it makes a big move during the day, if you have a big move up, for instance, you're going to lose money even though you still have positive theta. If even a big move down, you're going to, well, here you're actually gaining money until your white line drops below zero, and then you start losing money again. Alright, so reset these slices. I think that's about it. I wanted to take a quick look at CF. Let's go to the charts here and sort of explain to you why I didn't get in on this the other day. This is the weekly candle right here. And this is our stochastic, which is the first thing that we look at. We got a hookup on %K, but %D is still thinking about it. This is on a weekly. So this is Monday, the beginning. This is this candle here is the first candle in this weekly candle. You can see we had a huge up day, which causes %K to start to bend up on the candle here. So then I had an alert. I set an alert. The alert went off on Wednesday. This is this line here is the beginning of 2013. So on Wednesday, my alert triggered. So I observed the price action for that day, and I saw that it was pulling back, and I didn't like that. So I decided to stay out of it. Now this weekly candle is still forming. We don't know if %D is going to bend up or not, and we don't know what's going to happen over here, whether or not we're going to get a pullback down here below 20 to give us an entry point. However, on the short-term chart, we are still in a downtrend, and on or not the short-term, I'm sorry, the midterm chart, and on the long-term chart, our moving average here is starting to mellow, I guess you might say. So that's the reason why I didn't jump in on CF. All right, let's go back, and I don't want that. Let's go back. You get confused between those two. Let's take a look at the A+ list. See if there's anything going on there. And I'm going to go through this really, really quick, provided I can get good enough response in my charts. All right, downtrend, no entry, uptrend, possible entry, but just like CF, not liking this price action here. Amazon, I got my internet fixed. I think they finally found what my chronic problem has been. Amazon, still a little bit too flat for my taste. Looking pretty good on the long term, but no triggers here. Baidu. Let's see here. This one never panned out here, so I'm just going to get rid of that. Come on. And so I don't get distracted. Possibly changing trends here, but I'm going to wait for it to pull back down here and wait for the 50 on the midterm to go positive. We're still negative on the long term as well. CF, we already looked at that. Chipotle, pretty similar to pattern here, similar to Apple. We're a little flat here on the midterm. Long term, we're still in a downtrend on the 50 MA, and it's beginning to flatten out. Not, I think I'm going to take a pass on this one for anything right now, so I'm going to take that off of there so I'm not distracted. Salesforce.com. Alright, there may be an entry coming up here as we move down. Same thing on the midterm as we move down. We'll see how that plays out. Still watching. I haven't looked at Google in a while. We just, our midterm 50 MA just started to move up. So we're going to wait for the first pullback after the change in the direction of the moving average. So maybe we'll come down here and touch the 15 and come down here, %K come down here and kiss the 20. That's what we're looking for in an uptrend. We'll see what happens. Nothing imminent though, nothing in the next couple of days. Mastercard continues to amaze. It just continues to amaze. It started watching this when it was like $310. Well, I guess for the equity folks that bought into this, they did a good job. Missed this. Mr. Guru, I can't believe you missed this particular one. I think I was a little busy here on New Year's Eve. I had company. My daughter came over that night. It wasn't like a big party or anything. Just came over for dinner, that's all. So I think I was a little occupied that day. So we're going to take this off of here now that I made my confession. I missed that move. All right, Priceline. So you can't forget about this stuff, right? All right, Priceline, you know, I'm considering taking them off because they're so gappy. You know, this is enough to drive you nuts. You can take some risk in holding long options overnight if you want to. I may look into that. Maybe I'll look at that today. I'm going to be a little busy today too. I'm not sure. And last but not least is PNRA bread. In a downtrend. This is oh, I hate doing a bear trade on PNRA. This is interesting. So I'm thinking, let's make sure that we are have our oval here. I'm thinking maybe there might be something here. So we will keep an eye on it. Let me put an alert on here. This will only take a second. Let's do it on the mark. Get set. At or below. Yeah, it's below the low. Okay. And maybe I'll move that up just a hair. Alright. And that is it for our equities for the A+ list. So really, PNRA, let me make a note of that. Is the only alert that we have. And we'll see what the market does for today. It's always interesting. Alright, thanks for watching. Have a great day and happy trading.